All right, today we're going to look at some more linear equations, graphing and writing equations. Everything we do today is going to be around slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept form is our y equals mx plus b. M is the slope, and 0b is our y-intercept, or the b part of our equation, but it's written as an ordered pair. So you're going to be asked to write equations and graph equations. So we're going to start with writing equations. It's going to ask you to write it in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. Given the slope, which is our m, and our y-intercept, which is our b. So we're just going to have to plug in the missing information. So our slope is 2. That means our m is 2. Our y-intercept, 0, -3. That's our b is our -3. So if we plug into our equation, y equals 2x plus -3. Normally you're going to see that written as y equals 2x minus 3. That's simplified form when you're putting it into the computer or into an equation. Another one, slope is -2/3. So again, remember that's our m. Our b is 5. So substituting in, y equals -2/3 x plus 5. So you will also be asked to write an equation from a graph. You know how to find the slope from a graph, so you'll find the slope. You can find the y-intercept by where it crosses the y-axis, and you can write your equation doing the same thing. Another thing you're going to be asked to do is graph the equations. So graph using our slope and y-intercept. So you're going to be asked to do 4 things. Write it in slope-intercept form, state the slope, state the y-intercept, and graph the line. So 4 things on each problem we'll be looking at. So if I look at part A, I have y equals 3x minus 4. Well, it already is in slope-intercept form. The slope-intercept form is our y equals. So when we look at our y equals, we have to figure out what our m and b are by looking. So m is our slope. Our slope is the number in front of the x, so it's just 3. Y-intercept is the b, is the number by itself, so our b is -4, but when asked as an intercept, we're going to write 0, -4. And then when we graph it, we learned how to graph last class using the point and our slope. So graph first the point, so 0, -4. You can see my numbers are off a little bit. Go down 4 looking at your graph. When our slope is 3, slope is rise over run. If you need to make a fraction, go ahead and make it 3/1. So that would be up 1, 2, 3, and over 1, another point. And then draw in your line. There's 1. Another one, slope-intercept form. Again, we're going to write it. We're going to find the slope, y-intercept, and graph it. So we want it to be in our y equals mx plus b. So we have x plus 2y equals -4, so we need to move our x over. We need to solve for y is what we're doing. We did this in chapter 2, so it has been taught to you before. So 2y equals -x minus 4. Then we need to divide by 2. Divide everything separately by 2. So these 2's cancel to give us y. This one, there's not a number in front of our x. So if there's not one there, you're going to put a 1 right there. So this is -1 over 2. We're going to leave it written as a fraction. -1/2 x, -4 divided by 2 is -2. So we have -1/2 x minus 2. That's writing in slope-intercept form. Finding your slope, the number in front of the x, -1/2. Y-intercept is the number by itself, -2. Write it as an ordered pair, 0, -2. Graph it. First graph our 0, -2. This time my slope is a -1/2. Remember, when it's negative, instead of going up, we're going to go down. So we're going to go down 1 over 2, put another point, and draw in our line. And then we've done everything that it's asked. The slope, the y-intercept form, and graphed it. So here's another one. Before we start this one, to make our life a lot easier, let's change this 5 to a 14. Then we don't have to worry about some graphing some fractions at the end. So again, we're going to try and put this, or we are going to put this in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So the b is the number by itself, so that's our 14. Let's move it over first. So I have 3x minus 7y equals -14. Then I also need the x part over here, so I'm going to subtract the 3x. So the cancel here, I still have a negative 7y equals negative 3x minus 14. Notice in slope-intercept form, the x is always written first. Then I need to get the y by itself. I need to divide everything by a negative 7. So when we do this, these negative 7's cancel. I'm just going to come down here. So y equals 3 divided by 7, I can't do it, but a negative over a negative makes this a positive. So this would become 3 over 7x. Negative 14 divided by negative 7 would become plus 2. So here's our slope-intercept form. Our slope is the number in front of the x, so it is 3/7. That was kind of sloppy. Let's write it down here. M equals 3/7. Our y-intercept, the number by itself right here as an ordered pair, would be 0, 2. So then we graph it. We're going to go up 0, 2, put our point. Graph our slope of 3/7 means I go up 1, 2, 3, and over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put another point and draw my graph. So we have that one done. Here's another one, write and slope intercept. So again, we're writing slope, y-intercept, and graphing the line. So this time it's x equals 3. There is no y, so slope-intercept form, the best I can do is just have the x by itself. So remember, x equals 3. When we graph that, that comes out here to 1, 2, 3. X is 3, and it's just going to be a vertical line up and down. So remember when we had that, our slope of that line was 0, and notice it's never going to cross the y-axis, so it's none. So whenever it's x equals, the slope is 0, y-intercept is always going to be none. And you're done with that one, not a lot of work to do. Last thing we have is a word problem. So we're going to suppose there's a flat rate of 20 cents plus a charge of 10 cents per minute to make a phone call. So we are going to first write an equation of the cost y for a call that is x minutes, which means we're going to write an equation that is similar to the mx plus b. It's just we're not using the word slope. So flat rate, whenever you see a constant or you're going to pay this no matter what, that's going to be like our b value. And a charge per something, this would be our slope. So our equation is just going to be y equals 0.1x plus 0.2. That's our equation we want. Part B wants to know what the cost is for a 5-minute call. We'll notice x is our minutes, so we're just going to plug this 5 into our equation up here. So we're going to have y equals 0.1 times 5 plus 0.2. We can use our calculators, we can use whatever we need, and we will notice that this one costs 70 cents when we work that out. That is what we're going to be doing today. Please let me know if you have questions while you're working on your homework and going through things. Have a great day.